Man, did we think this year's Game Awards would have ran a tighter ship in all categories? I was really thinking the battle was gonna be one for the books. But instead, what we witnessed that day, nothing short of a catastrophe. I can only really depict it as a concept. Might I add a few demonstrations?
Let's do this.
If there's something I've learned about gamers with the reception of how the ceremony concluded, it's the fact that critical thinking skills are completely off the table, all for the sake of pushing agendas. There are two kinds of people in this world, those who have played Expedition 33 and those who haven't. It's that simple. My fellow Silkers, I love y'all. I am one of y'all. But unfortunately, you guys are the loudest with the matter at hand. This victory was promised to us 7 years ago, and because it crashed store system-wide on release, we basically deserve it.
I've been wanting you to have this.
I am really baffled a lot of you guys really pushed that argument thinking it would work like that. By this metric, give it to Grand Theft Auto 6 right now. Now, I'm not saying Expedition 33 had it in all categories. I do believe its very inclusion with a few of those alone hold out games that would have been better off getting recognized. With that said, sore losers ain't never been more transparent than with this year's ceremony. Are certain criticisms in regards to the show or even the game right? Or is it all simply for the sake of agendas?
When will you guys learn that I don't actually use logic when I do these things? I don't care what I read. It's about the agenda. It's not about what you think. It's not about reading comprehension. It's not about the story. It's about agenda. When will you guys understand that? It shocks my spirit. Oh, I understand the story very well. I just don't care. At all.
Let's start this off by finding some common ground. Let me ask you guys a question. Did Expedition 33 deserve Game of the Year? Forget about the other categories, we'll get to those later. Did it deserve Game of the Year? If your answer was anything but yes, then that does tell me more about you than I need to know. And that's not me saying having a different vote is wrong, because this year's contenders were all bangers in their respective ways and in their genres. But if you've played the game to completion, you'd understand why it won. Instead, a lot of the noise comes from people who have zero idea as to what the hell they're even talking about. This is where a lot of you out yourselves for being bums.
Player story games. But can we just leave the turn-based bullshit in the 90s? That was the only time that it was entertaining.
I have to break your neck.
Expedition 33 has some good visuals. It may have a good story, I have no idea. Don't fucking care. It's turn-based.
Folk, listen. I don't like turn-based either, right? It doesn't discredit the game at all. But when a lot of the arguments boil down to it looks like a mobile game, it's a glorified Raid Shadow Legends, and ew, turn-based games aren't real? I just can't help but to feel the urge to stain you. I like good rage bait, but if you're genuinely coping by slandering what swept both the Golden Joystick Awards and the Game Awards as an overrated turn-based mobile game, listen to yourself, okay? I guess that beat whatever the fuck you wanted to win.
Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep!
Expedition 33 is an entirely new IP, placed in a pool of established, critically acclaimed titles. It's a game created by a team who understand the medium. They made a game they themselves would want to play, which of course derives inspiration from other highly appraised games. And they've made that transparent all the way through. That ranges from turn-based to Soulsborne.
I was playing Sekiro actually on the side when I was just developing it as a prototype. I like to parry in my turn-based game, and it just changed the game immediately. This is so cool. Why did nobody do this before? And then I learned Mario RPG actually did it. It's
all they've done is show respect for the industry and pay it forward.
Also play Dispatch, it's very, very cool and has a very good story if you like this one. Yeah.
All of y'all talking that talk, you may not realize it, but whatever game you are fucking glazing and wanted to win awards for too, those developers have shared their praises too. They know that all of their games are elite. It's called mutual respect. Whoever made this at Supergiant Games, you are actually sauced with this work right here. But instead of just celebrating together, y'all are just at each other's necks for no reason. Meanwhile, I'm over here just trying to enjoy all of these games simultaneously. Here's an idea. How about you guys take all of that energy and go stain them? The corpo gonks keeping developers attached to strings like a puppet. Prioritizing monetization first over the player experience and all of that other greedy shit.
This shit is so fucking ass, bitch!
Comparison really is the thief of joy. Hold on. I've got a funny idea. Let's compare the sales of legacy titles and beloved franchises to an entirely new IP. It's genius.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
By the way, the TikTok's original intention was to be rage bait, but this video has blown up on every platform to a point where it's become an unironic source to push agendas. Brother, you gotta be so foolish to even think this is a valid argument against E33. So by this metric of thinking, let's just give Call of Duty its hard-earned accolades, right? Since we want to glaze sales, It's this metric of thinking that gets the discussion nowhere. You are straight up just talking out of your ass.
Use your common sense.
Most of the aspects of E33 are inspired from other games. It's not original. Again, the TikTok itself is a joke, but people have taken the contents of this video and have fucking ran with it. Apparently, it is now a sin for a piece of media to derive any inspiration from existing works. Wrap it up. Video games as an art form is now cancelled.
Let me tell you something else, man.
Art is a cycle that is not restrained to a single genre. We use art as a means to revisit, renew, reiterate, and innovate or evolve on the former. That is not restrained to video games. This extends itself out to some of your favorite stories, films, games, you name it. Media illiteracy is a plague, and unfortunately, I gotta do it to you.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Silksong, Donkey Kong, Wukong, Cheech and Chong, 33 and 5. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not gonna lie, as much as I'm out here defending this game, some E33 glazers make it hard as hell to do so. Revive the genre? What?
Stop the cap.
I've seen a lot of comments reflecting on prior years, pointing out that not even Elden Ring won half the awards E33 did. Yeah, you know what, man? Again, crazy idea. Let's keep making counterintuitive comparisons here. I'm a Elden Ring slob knobber. But ain't no fucking way was it going to clear out its competition that year. Between a Miyazaki-directed game and a Santa Monica studio game, which do you think would win categories like Best Narrative, Best Performance, Best Action Adventure, Best Audio Design? Surprise, surprise, it was God of War. Do I understand why the more accessible and polished game with a direct narrative won these categories over Elden Peak? Yes, I do. Did it ever make sense to compare Expedition 33's accolades to the game directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki? No. Should God of War Ragnarok have won Best Soundtrack? Also no. Guys, I'ma say it again, I haven't played every game this year. I'd like to do that, trust, but otherwise, I'm stuck in this shit-ass capitalist system. Genuinely, it would help out if you subbed up. But till then, having an open perspective on why certain games get the appraise they do is entirely free. As someone who's consumed both Peak Song and Expedition 33, this animated bit brings me joy, man. I'm also wrapping up my first playthrough of Hades. Yes, it's a great game too, and I can't wait to get into Hades too. You see, all the disdain for Expedition 33 could be eliminated if people weren't so fucking dense. That's all it comes down to. If I served you a 5-star dish and you see a couple of ingredients you don't like, are you really going to come to the conclusion that you will not like it? Okay, what if that 5-star dish is now Dish of the Year? Now you've got the added incentive. Let's do a little case study here. Silksong fans, do you have anything to say about Expedition 33 winning Best Soundtrack? I present User Farloom Math Guy. Of course the 3D game won Best Art Direction. Of course it did. Does E33 have any memorable tracks other than Lumiere? So I'm not opening up Pandora's box when it comes to the discussion of the art direction category yet, but this tweet alone lets everybody know that this man here, he ain't played the game yet. Lumiere is a great track. It's not the one people would push for the game-winning Best Soundtrack. So after some backlash, instead of doubling down and staying sour, he does something no other Twitter user has done before. You know what? This game might not be my cup of tea, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm just saying, don't knock it till you try it.
I would like to formally apologize to all the Expedition 33 fan base that I disrespected. You know, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Do not let that Expedition game win Game of the Year. Do not let it.
A few moments later.
When I play this game, after it wins Game of the Year, I'm going to enjoy it. Dare I say he was right?
I know, right? Crazy idea. How about we simply put a little effort before we spew absolute basura?
Try!
Genuinely, why is it so hard for people to just try? All these reactions of enlightenment
Made me happy, made me smile. Nice.
But you know what? Let it be known that the hate for the French is at an all-time high without a lick of doubt. Fuck your baguettes, fuck your tower, fuck your fits, fuck your snails, fuck your accent, fuck your beret, fuck your stripes.
This is America.
Hold on a second. I'm looking to my left. I'm looking to my right. And now I'm looking at you. Why is slander all of a sudden just ass? It is more watered down than baby shit. Zionism, KKK, Nazi shit, and pedophilia?
You're weird.
You a pedophile.
Instead of being butthurt over a good game, how about we actually talk about the game awards? You want to move the discussion forward? You start from where it stems from. I want to critique the show and offer potential solutions instead of mindlessly criticizing. I don't think it's been more clear till this year that the process was pretty ass. It's an award ceremony, I get it. May the best win. But at the same time, isn't it supposed to be a celebration of the games we play? And I know people can respond by saying that the show is just a glorified outlet to advertise future releases. And while that is true, it is still an award ceremony. They have to do a better job at giving their nominees their accolades, winners or not. I respect the hell out of every developer, present or not. We saw Team Cherry's statement as to why they didn't attend, and I don't blame them for even a second, because who in their right mind is gonna fly all the way from Australia to the US just to witness exactly what they anticipated? Some people called it unsportsmanlike, but be honest, the way the Game Awards handled this year's ceremony was not fair to everyone, devs and fans alike. Again, Expedition 33 is an all-timer without a lick of doubt. But damn bro, I wanted to see these other games get the flowers they deserved. No matter how much someone loves a game, I'm not saying there should be an extra award given out of pity, because that's even worse. But maybe, by increasing the slots for every category, is there now room made to include a second place or a runner-up? And here's another idea. To add more nuance to a game winning a category, there should be an exact showcase as to why it won displayed on the big screen, and stated by Jeff himself. There's a whole jury behind the process. I'd like to think that with a bit more effort on their end, there can be a process bullet pointing exactly what warranted the win. I mean, clearly there was a majority vote for E33. Like, what was the common consensus for their win? And how did it respect the criteria of the category more uniquely from its competition? Did it even fit the criteria at all? What highlights did the jury all agree with? I'm just saying, man, you might as well make the most popular award show more professional. But hey, that's just me. Also, I gotta say this, but everyone talks about Kojima like he's Jeff's baby girl. I don't get it at all. Like, if you've got a pair of eyes and a working brain, you would know he took away a fat donut this year. I ain't even played Death Stranding 2, but he got hoed out, like, bad.
I'm gonna kill each and every one of you. The only disappointment in it for me is that I only get to do it once.
How many categories were genuine robberies? Which ones were fair game? And how many of these potential snubs partly come down to the blurred lines of the criteria itself? You guys tell me what you think as we go. Best Score and Music. For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. So believe it or not, I got Lorien Testard and Christopher Larkin in my top 10 artists this year. If the soundtrack for Hades 2 was anything like the first, it's a banger. Woodkid, I fuck with you heavy. Toma Aroa. Yeah, I don't know your game. I apologize, okay? I'm winning listening to all this peak. Larkin might have ran the tightest ship here in the whole crew, but unfortunately when it came to Expedition 33 soundtrack, there is no limit to the glaze. I'm surprised a lot of my fellow skongers were upset that it wasn't Larkin. Like, I love bro, but I won't hold you. The soundtrack category isn't a hill I would die on for Silksong, okay? The lead director found Lorien Testard on some obscure French forum that was shut down not long after this post. He was a SoundCloud composer. Then there's the vocals of Alice Dupour and Victor Borba. We do not skip a Renoir fight reaction in this household. There's also a few games for me that get me mesmerized on the main screen alone. The soundtrack for this game is truly something special, from the people behind the music to the execution of it in the game. It also hit #1 on Billboard's classical albums. Like, I hope no one's pushing agendas against the music, because that is a losing battle, my guy. There's only one problem rooted in the music though. It's all in French. Some of y'all might genuinely get pulverized. Best RPG. for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences.
I won't be seeing you later.
Here, the Game Award for RPG goes to Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Make a separate category for JRPGs entirely. That's it. Problem solved. When I think of a game that is true traditional RPG formula, that's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, my guy, all the way. Respect the criteria or don't, and piss a lot of people off, okay? That's it. That's all I have to say for this. Best Game Direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Alright, let's be honest. No one executes creative liberty better than Kojima himself. Somehow, it's integral to the story that Ellie's character kicks her shoes off here. No, seriously though. They hoed the hell out of Kojima this year. I mean, this game should have deadass gotten an award for its production value alone. And all the goofy shit Kojima is known for, you know? But I do fear, once again, that the E33 motion was also quite deserving of it. I'd go on to tell you about the nuances behind its usage of art movements like chiaroscuro, and it's this approach to narrative that makes me love Soulsborne lore so much with the nuances Miyazaki introduces with concepts. But I'm not trying to get booed for giving you guys a history lesson. So, gameplay wise, it is a melting pot of the developer's favorite games and mixing those elements together, and it actually works really well. Again, I don't get the agendas arguing against the fact that a few of them worked at Ubisoft, so like they have prior experience, acting like it's smurfing in a bronze lobby as a grand champ or some shit. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. Their execution to creativity is something worth celebrating, while also spitting at what Ubisoft has sown. They knew a pitch for this game would never go through over there, and even worse, let's say if it did, okay? They taint so many aspects of the game with microtransactions, like, do you want 200 points of Lumina for $20? Man, no! Thematically, the game is quite literally about life imitating art. The whole damn thing is a love letter to the process of creation, not only caring about the result. AI. But yeah, I guess this category really depends on where you perceive game direction's highlights to be. It fits the criteria, but like, there could definitely be a better foundation to what people should look for with this category. Best Art Direction. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Oh boy, this is gonna be a lot. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm conflicted. A lot of people were upset that Expedition 33 won this. If you haven't caught on with everything I've said, this game is a love letter to art and the creative process, weaving actual art movements into the foundation of its world building. But they used AI, so it's actually slop. Twitter went crazy over this, but I knew about this since like day one damn near. But now everyone wants to say shit because it got its accolades. I hate AI as much as the next guy, okay? I'm an artist. But context matters. Nothing is black and white here. No one lost a job opportunity over a placeholder flyer design. AI had no part in the creative process and it had zero influence over the actual content of the game itself. We're deadass gonna dismiss the entirety of this game for using a generated placeholder. A set of newspapers on a street pole that had a lesser lifetime than Concord. Whatever suits the agenda, bro. I mean, I guess. Hold on, I gotta take this real quick. Yo, what's up? Oh, wait, really? So you're telling me the drama ain't just agenda, it's just purely manufactured? Yeah, I saw what the Indie Game Award thing did. Yeah, makes sense. It seems pretty fucking performative. That's what I'm saying, wasted time. Alright, well shit. I'll let them know. Minions. I have news. These were just Unreal Engine pre-made assets the team used as a placeholder way back when. Y'all make it hard to condemn bad AI usage when you go on wild witch hunts and then you put a game passionate about its mission up on a stake. The Coke ad or the McDonald's ad. Bad use of generative AI, okay? Give them the smoke. And funny enough, every time something happens in the mix of the art discussion, the French always gotta one-up the scene. Stand proud. Tu peux cuisiner. The devs have already been entirely transparent about the situation and are very much against the use of generative AI. To hear AI in conversation and then neglecting all possible context, keeping it as strictly black and white as possible, does nothing. You've just got hot air coming out of your mouth. As an artist myself, I don't support generative AI, and I think it's real fucking scummy that big companies and corporations are taking advantage of it. People shouldn't be getting replaced. Job opportunities shouldn't be cut off and lost. Gen AI's only real appeals for people who never really understood art or the feel. All they want is a delivered product. However that shit comes, man. You know it ain't the real deal. That shit was ass, but I'm not gonna lie, let me cook.
I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
Anyways, excuse my sorry ass freestyle, but when I commission an artist, I'm paying not only for a finished product in mind, okay? I sought their work with an infatuation for their art style, their technique in the process. They got the zip that I want, okay? Same with me. I've done work before. I've done commissions, projects, or the thumbnails that I do. I'm here to add my zip and my zing too. Expedition 33 is an organically made game through and through, and the AI discourse surrounding it is a mutilated, beaten horse at this point. So, with that said, we're leaving the AI stuff here. This is still about the Art Direction Award. Silksong, you're up. I'ma keep it 100. I don't understand the Unreal 5 slander. Shit's more forced than the diarrhea I suffered in Mexico. If you know, you know. Happy New Year's to you too, okay? Keep up with the community posts, mud. Anyways, damn. That's crazy. Games actually look good on a reliable engine. What? And players want to complain about it. Oh my god. You guys would not last a day in the asylum I was raised in.
Yo, who the fuck is this nigga?
I can't believe it.
Art direction in general was never strictly in the confines of graphics. I don't know why gamers think that when defending their favorite game against whoever won art direction that year. There's a whole iceberg to art in E33, and I literally cannot go into more depth about it without dropping a spoiler nuke. If I had to describe it, the game teaches the player how to engage with art. Every step of the way, it's something like a living, breathing canvas. Just as we live for the journey and not the end, it's about the process and how to interact with it. What do we end up taking away? How did experience and revelation impact our perspective as we go? And where does the player find themselves as the work concludes? Now, the criteria states creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. That's my conflict with this here. Creative achievement suggests a wider array of artistic practice and execution. It's like looking into a mixed medium artwork. Every nominee has their strengths here, but again, Expedition 33 makes art a literal core part of the game's themes. But the other half of the criteria is the technical aspects to achievement, and Silksong needed their flowers here. There's not a single game on this list that even competes in this regard. I mean, it's literally the most traditional and a return to form, bringing art into a game. It's hand-drawn, it's layered masterfully, everything being animated just brings life out from the screen. There is never a dull moment in this world Team Cherry created, especially with Larkin's work on the side here, making for some of the best ambiance I done ever heard in a game. Every frame of it is lurking with life. If video games were food, this shit is artisanal. You cannot downplay how organic this game is, even if you hate it. But let me ask the big question though, because Silksong did not win. It was Expedition 33. Did they get robbed, or is this the fault of the category's criteria again? I think the criteria is honestly fine this time. These were just two competitors that really knew what the mission was. This is the first year where two totally different games shine in artistic direction. I mean, hell, all of them did. I would have personally seen a double winner for this category, but I'm not gonna hold you. When it comes to the French and their cooks with artistic anything, I prefer my art-centric fiction made by the French. Best independent game. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Best debut indie game. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. For debut, I wanted to see my favorite horny game this year take something.
Hello there.
But don't worry, they gonna be back. The other category though, what the hell even defines an indie game at this point? Is it what people make it to be or what? Oh, I'm being serious too. And let me put a stop to some heinous agendas real quick. Funded by the French government and Kepler. Yes, Expedition 33's budget was still only 10 million.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave!
AAA invests hundreds of millions to create a game not even half as good as these. Zomenical, my goat, you were washed. Listen to yourself, okay? A game can't be indie if they have a larger budget or a publisher. At that point, they're double A titles.
It's just the way it is. I'm just a messenger.
Yeah, I see that, but like, here's the dilemma. The terms are too abstract and are literally up to interpretation. My favorite indie game might be Balatro. It even got nominated for Game of the Year last year, and it won both indie categories. Minions, I have bad news. Balatro has a publisher. PlayStack, like Kepler, serve a mission to publish indie games. You know, in fact, when you're looking at all the games nominated for either indie category this year, here's how many of them actually self-published their work. But nothing is black and white still, because next, gamers will argue how many people actually worked on their game, from the core members to how many were outsourced. Then there's budget differences and so many other denominators and qualities to consider, a lot of which have not been made entirely transparent yet by developers, except for Sandfall Interactive, ironically enough. But still, there's no actual definition to anything. I'm not going to argue when it comes to discussing anything indie, because the solution comes down to an official organization reviewing and reinstating what exactly defines each category, or at the very least, Jeff and his team for this show make an established set of prerequisites to each and every new IP from a new studio. With that transparency readily available, games will either qualify as an indie from the get-go, or they won't. I mean, what would you guys suggest here? I mean, seriously, there's no actual answer to any of this. Bro, it's all fucked up, twin. And I think that is the last category I wanted to cover that had some kind of controversy over it. Sorry that this video took so fucking long to make. I got salmonella in Mexico. Thank you to the fucking oyster that I had. Casi me manda la chingada. And having to video edit over a vacation also just isn't really optimal, but I tried to get this shit out in 2025. It just couldn't happen. So here we are in 2026. I hope this video still kind of offers some relevancy to the discussion, and it should, because this indie stuff ain't over. This is probably just the beginning, an eye-opener for some. Also, a quick shout out to everyone who supported the Zootopia 2 video. Like, I know I cover stuff super randomly, but it's nice that I can actually talk about stuff and edit it in a completely different style than I did with this video and others that I've blown up on my channel. So, kudos to y'all. I hope y'all had a good laugh. Again, this isn't really anything to take so personally. I hope you didn't. But with all this said, may this year's games be as great as last year's, because we fucking ate, okay? We ate good. I'll catch y'all in the next Flick Bile Water video soon.